Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video, and another one in this series with regard to the discography of Pink Floyd. I am going through their albums from the first one to the last one, and today is the fifth video, and the fifth album is Atom Heart Mother, released in 1970. And for me personally, this is the start of a new identity of Pink Floyd, but the band members themselves, they say it is still an album in which they did not know what to do. And I find that very interesting because I think this is an amazingly structured album. I'll tell you about the concept. Because the first record, the entire first side of his album is one song. The song Atom Heart Mother, which is an avant-garde orchestral piece. The band went into Abbey Road Studios. It was called EMI Studios back in the days, but right now it's known as Abbey Road Studios. And they record a backing track, and they let a conductor, Ron Geesin, make the rest of it. Now, it is interesting because when classical music or orchestras were used in pop or rock music, most often it's the other way around. The band are the main thing you're listening to, and the orchestral delivers most of the times the backing track. Now it's completely the other way around, and Pink Floyd gave Ron Geesin a lot of freedom to fill it in. I never knew that. I found it out researching this record. And the second half of the record are song based. It's much more of a song based record now. This album has had some controversy in recent times, not because of any cancel culture or anything, but the band has been talking about like it has been how do you say, a pretentious effort. And although this album was a big hit, I believe it was their first #1 record in the UK, but I'd have to double check that. It was an incredible hit, and they are talking negative about it, and I simply cannot see why. I never understood it, and the moment I read these comments, it didn't ring a bell like, oh, that could have been better. No, I think the song, the epic piece, Atom Heart Mother, is of an epic majesty. Majesty. I mean, it's so incredible. There's so much going on. It's the first time I heard it, it was in music class. Our teacher had to tell us what Pink Floyd was all about, and she chose to play one song because with most of the bands you get one song because we were 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and you get one song. But she decided, you know what, I'm gonna take this record out, and I went into the classroom, and it already had started playing. I was 10 or 15 seconds late. I didn't know we'd be listening to Pink Floyd that day. And people were lying on the ground with their eyes closed, and it was almost like this hippie commune taking this incredible piece of music. I think this Atom Heart Mother is of amazing writing. It has incredible musical development. It has such haunting qualities. There's a choir doing the most beautiful, immense, incredible things, and I was always a great fan of that piece. I mean, it's the core of this album, but it's not the only thing this album has to offer. When you take a look at the songs, I mean, side 2 starts off with If. I think that should have been the last song of the album. If is a Roger Waters song, an acoustic guitar song, and I think it's one of the most underrated songs. If is so good. It is so it has so much integrity. It has so much sincerity. It is so beautifully direct. You rarely hear Roger Waters that direct and sincere in writing and in singing. When Roger Waters played his, not the current tour, but the tour before that, I believe it was the Us and Them tour, he played in Amsterdam in the Ziggo Dome. He recorded a show there. If you take a closer look at the concert film, you can see me in the audience because I'm somewhere at the front. And I went there 2 times, and the second time I walked home past the Amstel, the big canal in Amsterdam, and but a couple of hours later I went drinking with friends, and somewhere between the trees I thought, what am I hearing? Am I hearing If? I mean, it's not a hit. It's not a song they played live. I can't remember a live version. They must have played it live sometimes, but it's not a big live song. And I heard someone playing If, but they were walking alongside me in the same tempo. So I was walking back from an amazing night past the kennel in the night, and one of my favorite Pink Floyd, yeah, it's one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs was playing, but it's an obscure one. It is such a beautiful, sincere song. There's so much more. Summer of '86, it's a good song. Then you have Fat Old Son, which is by which David Gilmour sees as one of his best songs, and I think I agree. I mean, it's beautiful. It has this nice waking up melody. When that fat old sun in the sky. It's beautiful, and then it ends up with Ellen's Psychedelic Breakfast, which is experimental. Which if it would have been an Umaguma, I would have put it aside next to other experiments like Not Working. But in this context, on this album, it does have an interesting quirkiness. It does have an interesting geekiness. I think it's an amazing record. Seriously, I think this is 5-star material. I do not understand by the life of me why this is not why the band would not see this as amongst their greatest. Perhaps it is because they were not that involved on the title track. I'm not sure, but I think this album took them to new heights, and I love it. I really, really love it. It is so good. I play it pretty often. It is a masterpiece. So, what do you agree? What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video, in which I'm going to talk about metal.